Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, guten morgen, bonjour, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. If you're joining us for the first time, then thank you for doing so. We broadcast live every day at 10 a.m. It's Ken at 10 because my name's Ken. We're James Alexander Estate Agents and we're based in Southwest London, Southwest 16 to be precise. Looking forward to a busy day in the world of property today. Hope you're doing well. There's not a lot of days left now until we get to this stamp duty deadline. In fact, there's just 23 days remaining. That's 23 days. There's an ambulance going past there. It's just to prove we're live. And yeah, 23 days to go and lots of pressure coming. And that's what we're finding is that just today, my colleagues on the other line, just trying to pressure one along where everything's done, but no one's doing anything, and it feels a little bit like that at times. So the pressure's on, the stress is on, and we're pushing forward to make sure that all of our clients, wherever possible, can meet that deadline. Because obviously the danger of going past it is question, does the buyer then ask for a discount? Question, does the seller then remarket because they're peeved with the buyer not making the deadline, making them miss the deadline with their purchase? So many connotations, really interested. It's a unique time in history as well. So I'm really interested to see how that pans out. And certainly we're finding one of the headlines today, which is in the Express, the Standard and the Mail, is solicitors under pressure ahead of the stamp duty deadline. Well, they're not the only ones under pressure. We're all under pressure, my friend. But anyway, stressed solicitors have been working overtime to help home movers beat a stamp duty holiday deadline of June 30th, according to the Law Society. It's published new guidance for conveyancing solicitors covering managing agents' expectations and clients' expectations and offering practical suggestions for dealing with transactions. One would be answer the phone, guys, just a hint and tip there. For England, the tips include informing clients of the tapering arrangement that will come into force from July the 1st and trying to make sure they have realistic expectations of the impact of not making the deadline. Yeah, managing expectation is a lot what it's about. I do agree with that. Clients should also be aware that it is only when the solicitor has all pieces from other buyers and sellers that they can move, the tips suggest. Many factors limiting the speed of the move are usually outside of the control of the conveyancer. They cannot guarantee transactions will complete before the end of June. No, of course they can't, but they can help by giving information. And quite often at the moment, we're finding that many firms are not providing basic information. They're saying they're not ready, but they're not providing explicit information as to what's not ready and why. And when we don't have that information, we can't convey it to the seller for the provision of that information to be given to the solicitor. And often some agents are seen as a thorn in the side of solicitors when in fact they can be really helpful. Same as good solicitors can be really helpful to good agents. We need a combination of the two to make the thing work. And that's why many people will find themselves in the conveyancing factories right now with their cheap deal that's about to cost them £15,000. Not so cheap now. And that goes for agents and solicitors, buy cheap, buy twice. And in this case, buy twice with another £15,000 bill. House price Halifax index is always revealing something new, isn't it? And this is reported just about everywhere. And it's the house price rise revealed in the Halifax index. Now, this is broad brush, and that's why I've got the picture of the bubble behind me with a house in house price predictions. You know what they say about statistics, lies, damn lies, and statistics. You could be very, very confused by statistics. And depending on where you are, you could have seen as much as a 40, 50% increase in house prices versus a much more minimal one here in London. Although prices have gone up, they haven't gone up anywhere near as much as they have in some of the holiday type destinations. But nevertheless, the house price Halifax report reveals that prices increased 9.5% in May to reach a new record high of 261,743 on average. That's their fastest pace since June 2014. Russell Galley, managing director of the firm, commented, heading into the traditionally busy summer period, market activity continues to be boosted by the government stamp duty holiday, with prospective buyers racing to complete purchases in time to benefit from the maximum tax break ahead of the June deadline. The current strength in house prices also points to a deeper and long-lasting change as buyers' preferences shift in anticipation of new post-pandemic lifestyles. Well, I think that's true. We've all seen a massive shift, a seismic shift in where people live, how they live, what they want to do, how they're going to commute. The really interesting thing for me is what goes on next. And that is, we know lots of people have taken the shift over to working from holiday type destinations over to the Zoom nation. Question, will those broadband links hold out? Will they be strong enough to do the telecommute they want? Will they miss the office? Will the firms insist they go back to the office? Will there be some sort of coexistence of telecommuting and office-based working, which is what I suspect. I suspect that this will help London to reopen as well. So it's good news for London, and the office spaces that many have suggesting signed their death knell. I think they will come back, and the coexistence of workers together, especially in a sales type environment such as agency, really is critical. You know, having the banter, having the facility to bounce off one another, to get that enthusiasm going, cannot be replicated at home, no matter how many Zoom meetings you have. But it'd be really interesting to see that dynamic. And, you know, the fact that we're in such an unusual time, for me, is quite exciting, quite interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. As many of you know, my suggestion is that we'll see a slowdown after June, but not a stop. And I don't think we'll see a dramatic drop off in prices, because that slowdown and lack of supply will continue through the summer, and that lack of supply will continue to drive prices. So it'd be really interesting to see how much buy. Personally, I would like to see, you know, people think estate agents just want house prices to fly through the roof. I certainly don't. What I like to see is a steady confidence-giving increase, so everybody knows where they are. They know that house prices are unlikely to make a dramatic or seismic shift either way, so people can plan their moves with confidence. House prices just going off the scale is not in anyone's interest longer term. Why? Well, because boom will lead to bust. And if boom leads to bust, we all know where that goes from the 2007-9 recession and back earlier than that in the 80s. What's different now? It's a totally different supply market. Plenty of people out there now can access mortgages. First-time buyer mortgages are more available than ever now as confidence has returned to that sector. Flats will start to move again as things move on. Obviously, we've had a massive problem with the Grenfell scandal and the connotations of that. And that's starting to filter through now, where the works have been done and the EWS1 certificates are available. So those buildings are now saleable again. I know it can't come too soon for many, and for many, it seems like a lifetime away still, and my heart goes out to you if you're in that position. But it is starting to get on board. Never quickly enough, agreed, but it's starting to happen. So that's it for today. Here in SW16, the weather is fantastic. It's a beautiful day. I'm looking out the window here. Everybody's walking past in their sunglasses, looking cool. Everyone looks better in the sun with the sunglasses on, don't they? And we're looking forward to a busy day. Lots of valuations today. So hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for another Ken at 10. Until then, look after your families and your friends.
Morning, James.